なんとかなったみてえだな。畳みかける。これがスーパーサイヤ人3だ。
Alright, what's going on, you fam? Raiyuden here. The unpredictable, super unpredictable, nobody knows what's going on, unpredictable anniversary got yet another teaser. We've all speculated part 1 is going to be Dragon Ball Super Broly, namely a Gogeta and a Broly. The next teaser is for the performer, and I'm pretty sure this just sells everything. I don't think you need any more convincing on what part 1 is going to be. That's Daiichi Miura, the guy who did Blizzard. You don't need any more convincing at this point. I totally butchered his name. I'm sorry, I'm not Japanese. But this pretty much tells us part 1 is indeed Dragon Ball Super Broly. I told you guys when I did my prediction video, them going out their way to quote, "Oh, we're doing a really unpredictable anniversary," is just the equivalent of Sony saying, "This is the worst kept secret at E3. They're trying to do a little facade. It's a joke." They know everyone's speculating part 1 is Dragon Ball Super Broly. So instead, they're going to buy into it and start acting like it's not known. But how exciting. How exciting. Mainly because Broly, this guy has had zero representation in this game. A Super Saiyan full power Broly, we have not seen one in so long. And finally, this guy gets another character. Unbelievably excited to see what they're going to come up with here. I said in the speculation video that they're going to go with a double legend opener with a Super Saiyan Gogeta and a Super Saiyan Broly. I don't think they're going to go with a Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. I think they're going to go and stick with the Super Saiyan Gogeta. The idea being we're going to have a high to low area Legends action from the Gogeta where he does the beautiful Stardust Fall. When I did the Z tier boosted Gogeta video, we got a chance to revisit that epic blue card, which we have not seen since. And then in Broly's case, he's going to be doing a low to high area Legends action where instead he's going to go ahead and just break through the fourth wall in the dimension shatter. Now, the unpredictable part, totally memes aside here, could really be how these two interact within the game, how it changes how battles are done. Because right now, you'll notice they are flirting with the idea of unique strike clash animations. It all started with the Saiyan Saga during the part 2 of the 7th anniversary, and we all thought it was really damn cool. And if anything, we were expecting, to see it more frequently, except they didn't do anything with it. It was a huge fumble that they didn't do it with the Part 3 Ultras, but we didn't see any new strike animations until we got our hands on the Ultra Buhan as well as the Legend Super Vegito. But I'm thinking, what if they want to make the strike clashes translate to map changes, right? How cool would it be if both Legend Gogeta, whichever one we get, and the Legend Broly have a unique strike clash, and you do a dimension shatter which changes the map? How sick would that be? That would be the kind of thing where people would go, okay, I get it. I understand why they cut the bottom line for devices that can play the game. I understand why they said we need to push the hardware requirements for the devices that play our game. Because there's just going to be far more loaded into every single battle, far more interactions, far more assets, far more polish, and a map change is the kind of thing that would fit the bill. And then that makes things even better. Unique strike clash to like a destroyed Namek, unique strike clashes where we just see the entire environment change colors. IT Goku somehow clashes with Cell and it turns all stormy and dark when they're flexing their powers, that kind of thing. I think that'd be the kind of unpredictableness that we would appreciate. Now, here's another thing. I think I can touch on this now because, them teasing who's going to be doing the performance is a pretty short video to do. But people have found in-game that you can choose the illustration for the characters. Normally, it's going to be the illustrations for your top 10 favorite characters that turn into your loading screen. Normally, you would think, okay, you know, 3 illustrations matches with LR characters because LR characters have their base background art, their next level one, but you get another copy, and then the beautiful golden black background when you get a 14-star one. So you would assume it's for that, but it isn't. Changing the illustration does not change the background art for the legend characters. However, characters that have multiple transformations, it maps to. I used, you know, Green Super Saiyan 3 as an example. I actually recorded it as a video, but I didn't release it just because it is... I talked to Hydros about this. We discussed the underlying code. It doesn't exactly guarantee anything, but it could, but we're leaning more towards probably not. But I figure I could talk about this now because so many comments have shown up about it. But if you use the transforming Super Saiyan 3 Goku and you choose illustration 1, he's in his Super Saiyan 2 state. The Super Saiyan 2 art is what's shown. Then, if you go ahead and press illustration 2, it gives you this art. It's his second form. If you use illustration 3, which was something that was recently added, by the way, when they did the major update that introduced the new seal icons for the Rising Rush as well as the main, we got illustration 3 as an option. If you choose that now for these characters, it defaults back to their initial state, meaning there's a default value assigned to it. So it could be that this is a feature that is intended for something later on. A character that has multiple transformations would be Shallot, and this feature behaves differently for Shallot. If you choose illustration 3, it doesn't make Shallot go back to his base form art. It sticks to whatever his current transformation art is. A big reason why I didn't do a video on this is because we have had numerous occasions where data mined assets have speculated into features that don't actually happen. We had the unique gauge sealing stuff. We've had assets that look like it was supposed to be for a fusion, but they all tied to something else entirely. This could be another one of those things. But buying into the idea of multiple transformations, I could see them do something like that as well. Starting as a, you know, Super Saiyan Gogeta, and then you can just transform, I don't know, maybe base form, main ability transforms into Super Saiyan Gogeta, and then as Super Saiyan Gogeta, you fill a unique gauge, which opens up another button, maybe where the active skill area is, and you can transform into Super Saiyan Blue under a specific condition. And the same thing with Broly, starting as base form, then you become Super Saiyan, and then you go full power with a full unique gauge or active skill or whatever. That's the kind of thing that would get the community excited. That's the kind of thing to make people go, wow, this is worthy of an anniversary. And you know what? Is actually unpredictable. So you guys let me know what you're thinking. Are you excited for what we're gonna see? I think it's pretty much confirmed at this point. Dragon Ball Super Broly for our part 1, which opens the door to just what would you want part 2 to be? What would you want the Ultras to be? I already said I would love part 2 to be the remake for the Majin Buu Saga Spirit Bomb, as well as the Universal Spirit Bomb. Yeah, GT Kid Goku attack, just because borrowing from what Dokkan did, using the 2 Spirit Bombs to symbolize 8 for their 8th anniversary fits us pretty well. Not to mention, that is the last of the OG LFs that need a remake. They already did a remake for FSK. They already did a remake for Namek Goku. Green Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Spirit Bomb LF is the next one in line to get a remake. And then for the Ultra, I said Mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku, as well as a Legend Goma. Mainly because I know it's going to be a head scratcher, but I think at this point in time, the game knows, hey, we've deliberately avoided anything Mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku, anything Goma. We've had like 3 celebrations thus far, 2 big ones within the year, and they've done everything they could to avoid those 2 characters. They got to be saving it for something, and if they do it now, then we can go later into the year with the return of Super. Because if they don't do it now, then guess what? No one's going to be caring. The best time to do the Daima stuff was yesterday. The next best time is as soon as possible. So that's probably what they're going to be doing. You let me know in the comment section below what you think. Are you excited for what we're going to see? Are you excited for Dragon Ball Super Broly? But until next time, guys, peace!